I'm doing well. I think we're technically live. This is scary. Just don't screw up too much here, Eric.
Should I just put myself on mute now?
They'll take care of that for us. I'm sure they're going to dump the call here shortly. So, but we'll go ahead and jump into the real stuff here. So, for those joining us, welcome. Paul Timko with Fics. I'm the head of marketing for Fics, and this is an honor. It's almost been not quite a year. It's obviously been a crazy year, so I joined at the perfect time. But it's been a great experience working with the entire Fics organization, and really, like many companies, we've had the opportunity to find ways to innovate, be creative, bring new types of education and new opportunities and new partners with this virtual symposium that we'll talk about here shortly. And one of the best things that came out of the last year is Eric Fernandez. And don't talk yet, Eric. I'm going to build you up here, okay? And then we'll see if you can rise to the occasion here. So I know Eric Fernandez from many years ago when I worked at a company called Performance Health, which many of you may recognize. And I left there about 2 years ago to start my own business called InReach Health, and joined forces with a company called Stop Pain Clinical. But back when I was with Performance Health, I worked with Eric when it was just Normatec, right, Eric?
Yes, sir.
It was pre-Hyperice, acquisition and merger of two great products, brands, and two great groups of people that we'll talk a little bit about today. And one thing that I met Eric at a trade event, and you guys will see this right away, and this is why Eric is why I believe Eric's a great partner for not only for Fics, but for chiropractic in general, is that he's wired the same way that I am. And I learned from some great chiropractors. We're not clinicians. I should have probably mentioned that from the beginning. But we were lucky to be around some great chiropractors from the beginning that taught us about relationships, about supporting the profession, the benefits of chiropractic. And I knew instantly within minutes that not only was Eric a great person, but he understood the importance of supporting the clinical markets, or I should say the clinical disciplines like chiropractic and some of the others that we both spend time in. So chiropractic is near and dear to my heart, and I can tell Eric and the entire Hyperice team are very committed to chiropractic. So this was a perfect fit, and I'm glad they were able to join forces and support Fics and ultimately be part of the symposium, which we'll talk about shortly. But Eric, I'll put you on the spot. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and the personal side, the fun stuff, and we can talk about the business here shortly.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Paul, and that way too kind intro as you often do. The kind words mean a lot, and it is fun to think that it's been more than a few years here working together on a number of initiatives, and I think it's been really rewarding. And I think that, to your point, Hyperice is a really mission-driven company. I know you want to talk about me, and I'll talk about me, but we're a really mission-driven organization. We care deeply about what we do, about the impact our technology has on individuals and their quality of life. And I think it's something that really motivates all of us. And we seek out strategic partnerships with people who are like-minded, right? And so it's been really great to have that opportunity to work with you, Paul, and those that you surround yourself with, your educators, your other folks in the industry, and obviously really exciting to be able to have that partnership with Fics and support the great work being done around the globe. So we're really, really excited. I'm really, really excited. Me, myself, let's see, I'm here in Boston in the States. So at some point, my 2.5-year-old daughter might barge in, which will be amusing for sure. I have another one on the way due literally any day now. So that's exciting. So if you see me in like a week or 2 weeks or a month, I will have huge circles under my eyes. I won't have slept, but that's okay. And I think, let's see, outside of that, I'm a kiteboarder. I'm an action sports athlete, but I grew up playing hockey really competitively my whole life and continued in college. I've shared or had more than a few injuries over my time. And I know that I have definitely benefited from sports chiropractic, and constantly find myself going back for little things. Like now these days, it's more like I try to pick up a big rock in my backyard because I think I'm a landscaper, right? And next thing you know, my back is a mess. But but we do what we can. But no, I'm pretty simple here. Love my family and love good community and good food. I'm trying to point to my belly here.
I'm right there with you. I gained my COVID 20 or probably 30 pounds now. So I need to get, now that it's warming up where I'm at in Cleveland, Ohio, we're able to get some exercise. So I'll have no excuses here shortly. So
well, you got the exercise bike too, didn't you? The air.
I got the Rogue exercise bike. So I did that. I used it for, like, normally I used it really every day for like 14 days maybe, and then it's sitting there collecting dust. So thanks for the motivation there, and good topic. So but we'll talk about some of the other technology and gear that we all should be using here shortly. But thanks for that introduction. For everybody that's watching this, and this is going to be recorded, so we'll cover some of the details about the symposium. So this is the first FIX virtual symposium. For those that don't know, we're talking about International Sports Chiropractic. Here's our partners, and this is kind of a unique situation where we're not the clinicians. We're actually, I've worked for manufacturers. I help out manufacturers. I work closely with Eric and Hyperice. But I can tell you, everyone on here, every partner, and I use the word partner for a reason, even though they're technically sponsors too, because they help fund the mission of FIX and all the great things that FIX does and Sports Chiropractic does. But these are all groups, individuals that are committed to chiropractic, committed to sports chiropractic. So please do what you can to support them, engage with them. It's not always about just purchasing an item. You'll hear us talk about retail sales today to really help chiropractic and practice owners innovate and reach out to their community and generate revenue streams. But retail and sales is not a bad word. So we'll talk about that today a little bit. And just keep in mind that these are all partners that they want to support FIX on the mission. And we'll talk about that mission right now. So athlete's journey. So I was fortunate to be part of the marketing associated with FIX. And I was excited almost minute one when we were talking about what are we going to do with this virtual symposium. And I can tell you, we didn't know what this was going to end up being. We didn't know what speakers were going to be involved. We just knew we wanted to go big because we were, at this time, like many, there's been a lot of virtual conferences going on. But I can tell you, the content, the lineup is crazy. I mean, we've got some serious speakers here. So we've got Dr. Carol Stecco. We've got Dr. Joe Cook. Let's see, we've got, of course, Mika will be involved. And look at this, my webmaster's helping me think of some of the people. But go to the website, check it all out, because it's not a short list. I'm not even going to include all of them here. But, Christine Foss, of course. So we've got tons of stuff. We've got a pre-conference. We've got the main conference, really cost-effective solutions for everybody. Student members, please reach out as well and get involved. This is a great way to see what FIX is all about, what being involved in the Olympics and part of a medical team is all about. So this isn't just about getting great content and getting continuing education credits, which is 12.5 for those that are curious about it. This is a chance to see what FIX is all about, and also your journey as a chiropractor, as a healthcare professional, to see if this is something that can help you on your path, on your career, accomplish your mission. And I encourage everybody to participate and be part of it. And we're really excited about it because it just started. We just started the planning for this, the building of this about 2 months ago. And there's so many people involved working hard. So please spread the word, share with others, act early because there is an early bird special. There's a price, of course. So please get involved early and get registered early. The other key benefit is it's a virtual symposium. So for those that have not been through it, it's flexible. You can kind of multitask. We encourage you to stay focused on the presenters, but you can be anywhere. You can be poolside. You can be at the beach, wherever you want, but make sure that you take advantage of the virtual setup, and you'll have access to the content 30 days afterwards. So really nice setup with everything. There's going to be tons of prizes, giveaways. So yes, we're going to make sure everybody has a chance to win, lots of chances to win, I should say. And we're looking forward to that. Eric's a big part of that, and some of the other partners that I mentioned earlier. So that's kind of the logistics of everything. The other thing I want to remind you guys of, our session, Innovative Patient Care and Revenue Streams. That's May 8th, 8 p.m. GMT, 3 p.m. Eastern New York time. So please tune in for that. That we will be having giveaways. We will have prizes for that. We're going to have fun. We've got Dr. Jay Greenstein joining us as well. And we're going to talk certainly about Hyperice, Normatec, recovery solutions, rehab solutions, but we're going to talk about other things too. We're going to talk about the science behind stuff. We're going to talk about best practices. Jay being a chiropractor, he's going to have some hard-hitting questions for us manufacturers. So this is not a commercial session, and you'll find out, with today, this isn't us about necessarily, hey, here's a deal. This is about how do we partner with you and bring in great solutions, and that's what we're actually going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek today on. So, Eric, I'll pause. Anything that I missed or screwed up so far?
Definitely didn't screw up. No, I mean, I think it's so exciting. I want to go back to you. You made a really good point about the symposium. I sort of want to dig in here and just encourage folks that I hope that you will attend and sign up now and sort of reserve your spot and block your calendar. As Paul said, these are going to be on demand and you will have the ability to view them after. But I having sat in and sort of been a fly on the wall for many of these and have helped organize some of these panel discussions for previous events as well. The best part of these is the live discussion, right? And the best part that I think, and one of the great things that's come out of the pandemic in these virtual events, is that you can now be sitting anywhere in the globe, but have the chance to interact with your peers sitting in all different parts of the globe and these expert panelists and ask them questions and hear their responses is so valuable. So I hope many of you will tune in live. I know that I'm going to try to listen in as much as I can. So I think that sounds great. And in regards to what we're talking about or what we're going to do, to Paul's point, I mean, I guess maybe I should have mentioned this. Obviously, I am representing Hyperice here today. I am the director of Hyperice's rehab division, so really leading the team, focusing on supporting clinicians just like yourself. And as Paul said, for us, it's really not selling the product, right? In fact, I think we'd argue the products sell themselves in a lot of ways. And I think you guys are hopefully really familiar with our percussion and vibration and compression and many of these technologies. Where Hyperice really takes a lot of pride and where we focus is trying to bring that business expertise to the table and try to really support our clinical partners. Whether that's just training and education to make sure you get the best value and utility out of the products, whether it's introducing cash-based services to diversify your revenue, whether it's finding ways to use these products and these brands that you associate with to go attract new patients, right? Whether it's things like retail revenue, which sometimes can have a stigma, but ultimately, this day and age, it's about diversifying your revenue, and I think also equipping your patients with the technology that they're looking for, the solutions they're looking for at home. So that's what we're really excited to talk about and share. We're lucky enough, Paul and myself, to talk with a lot of folks like yourself to learn from the success stories, learn from the roadblocks as well. And hopefully offer some tangible solutions. So if these are programs or things you've been considering or wanting to do, wanting to launch or wanting to get better at, hopefully we can help you along that journey.
Yeah, that's perfect. And one thing to kind of give you guys a little bit more of an inside look of what the session's going to be is that, yeah, we're certainly going to share our thoughts, our best practices, what we've learned. But what I like about these types of sessions and really a virtual session like we're talking about is that it's an exchange too. We're going to learn too. We want to get feedback. We want to get better and better at supporting you and your athletes and your patients. And we often talk about, especially with this type of event, it's athlete's journey. So we're a sports chiropractic organization focused on elite athletes, Olympic level, and the very best chiropractors in the world. So we also want to be part of starting early, providing access to what the pros use in the community. So there's certainly revenue associated with that. There's a financial outcome. There's a financial benefit for the companies, for the chiropractors, for the practice owners, but also it's about providing access to great tools and great solutions that can help. And at the end of the day, the patients make the choice. This doesn't get just automatically added to somebody's bill, right? They're getting the combination of the chiropractor's experience, knowledge, and a tool that they trust, but it's still the patient's choice. And what I love about these kind of things is that, and I spent the last 10 years of my life, and I love it, is working with practice owners on their business, but also helping their communities. And that's really what it's about, especially now. It's about providing access to great tools, great technology that can help people, whether it's pain relief, mobility, stability, or just accomplishing their daily lives and enjoying their lives. And that's really what gets me up in the morning. And certainly the byproduct is revenue, which can help accomplish a lot of other things too, and be reinvested in providing more good in your community and the world. So that's kind of the cycle that Eric and I both, I guess we hit it off early, is that we enjoy that. We enjoy that cycle of doing well to do good. So Eric, I love how you've built. I've watched you not only build the program, but your team, it's evolved, it gets better and better. Tell us a little bit more about certainly the products, but how does it fit in? Like how do chiropractors, what are some of those best practices that they'll hear about? Not all of them. We want to make sure that they attend our session, but what are some of the things that you would recommend right out of the gate that they should take home from this, but also come to our session to learn about?
Yeah, well, I think there's a couple things I'd want to hit on. The first is that when you think about some of the technologies, some of the products, some of the brands you saw that are partners, I'll be selfish and talk about Hyperice. When you think about percussion and vibration and compression and thermal technology, Paul, as you said, these all start off as rehab modalities, as therapeutic modalities. And so I think if we start to think about what does it look like to bring these in your clinics, it always starts there. How do you use them? How do you get the best utility? How do you get the best results for your patients? And that's something that we spend a lot of time doing education and supporting our clinical partners with. And I think that that's something that we are partnering with Fix on to do, not just at the symposium, but throughout the course of the year. I think once you're using some of this technology and you start to see it firsthand, you then start to see the opportunities, right? As you said, the fact that, technology like ours is the official recovery technology of, here in the States, the National Basketball Association, Major League Baseball, the National Football League, the U.S. Soccer Federation, the list goes on, the PGA Tour, but we have similar partnerships across the globe. We just brought on Quick Step, one of the leading cyclist teams out there globally, but we've got partners all across the globe. The reason these folks use us is because our products are the highest quality, deliver the best results, and they see that value. I think bringing it back to this conversation, the question then is, if I'm running a sports chiropractic clinic and I'm using that technology because I trust it, because it gets the best results, what's the other opportunity in terms of latching onto that brand and using it from a community marketing standpoint, right? And that's something we spend a lot of time talking about. I think that there's a couple strategies or a couple things that we're going to be excited to discuss on our panel. And I think community marketing is a big piece of it. Little things. We understand that social media is a bear. It's a beast. And if you're in the business of patient care, right, and you're a practice owner, but managing a full load of patients as well, running an Instagram or Facebook channel is not easy, right? It's not what you went to school for. But there's a lot of ways that you can use the experiences that you're driving in your clinic to improve your social media reach. So for example, if you have, say, Normatec boots set up, if you're doing recovery services, you'll find that your patients are always like snapping selfies, right? They'll ask you to take photos of them. Give them a simple ask, right? Say, hey, will you tag my clinic? Will you tag my practice and just let folks know that you're recovering here with me? Maybe you give them their next session free, or maybe they just do it because they appreciate what you bring to them in terms of wellness. That's ultimately user-generated content, which is really what everyone's talking about in social media, right? And so by having some simple asks and by following a couple simple steps, this doesn't have to be a full-time job. This is really low-hanging fruit that will start to increase your community marketing and awareness and drive traffic to your brand. And that can be expanded upon quite a bit. Extrapolating that externally and taking these programs outside of your community. finding local influencers, right? If you're sports chiropractic, if you're associated with Fix, I'm going to wager some money that you guys love working with athletes, and you probably work with athletes in your community and potentially some really serious athletes. But using the name Hyperice and the fact that we're associated with Quick Step, and that we're associated with these different leagues and professional athletes, and using that as a way, and the fact that you have the same state-of-the-art technology that these pros and the best in the world are relying on, and using that as a way to start a conversation with that local cycling team, endurance community, perhaps getting them coming into your clinic for some injury prevention, for some performance, for some strength and conditioning, how to avoid overuse injuries, whatever it may be. If Hyperice can be the hook, if recovery can be the hook, then you can get them seeing everything that you can provide for them. And you can change the conversation from just being someplace that people go when they're in pain to being part of their overall wellness solution. And so really excited to talk a lot about that in depth and really dial into not just the high level vision, but really very specific, easy to action, easily actionable programs to help deliver upon those goals.
Yeah, perfect. And one key thing there for everybody is that's a few of the dots. Our job, not just on the next session that we do at the symposium, but just as a partner for all of you, is we help you connect those dots. And Eric just focused really on the community, a lot on the community marketing aspect, but really it's a comprehensive program, and the partners as well. Certainly the focus, the convenient focus here with Eric is Hyperice, Normatec, but Eric's a perfect example, and I'm wired the same way, is that we work with other partners, other brands, many of the fixed partners here, but countless others. And we do that so we can add value and help connect additional dots along the way, to help with increasing patient visits, increasing retention of those patients, increasing Google ratings, financial outcomes, clinical outcomes. So it's comprehensive in nature. And the way that the session will be structured is it'll be still Q&A. It'll be a panel. It'll be a fun discussion like we're doing here. But we'll help you build out what that roadmap is. So that way, when you're done with the session, you'll be able to kind of see what that blueprint, what that roadmap is, and start to take some steps forward. And even if you don't remember it all, you're going to be able to reach out to us, and we'll be able to help you with that at any point. So it's not just Eric and myself. He's got a whole team. We've got a whole team, and we're really here to help you guys in your practice, with your athletes, with your patients, and your communities. So there's so much more we could talk about. There's a couple other things that I wanted to mention before we break away. But Eric, anything else that you wanted to make sure we talked about today?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, I think that you hit the nail on the head. I think what I want to just reiterate is that I'm really honored and excited to be part of this discussion coming up as part of the symposium, and really appreciative of the time. I understand that time is everybody's most precious resource. And I do want to reiterate, Paul said, and be really clear. Our goal, if you choose to give us some of your time and tune in, I promise you I'm not going to sit there and talk about our product. If you want to ask me about percussion or vibration, I'll tell you. I love it. I do it all day long. Percussion, there it is, right?
I can talk about it.
Yeah, you can talk about it.
No.
What I want to focus on, and what I have fun talking about, and the reason that I'll give my time to this, is because I want to leave you hopefully with impactful, actionable, tangible programs that you can roll, whether you have our products or not. I hope that our conversation at the symposium leaves you with the new ideas and very specific ideas of how you can grow your practice, how you can be able to, through that growth, enhance patient care, enhance your influence on the community, and stay true to your mission at hand. And that's really our goal, and that's what we want to focus on, whether it's community marketing, alternative revenue streams. There's so much we can unpack, but having done this with Paul a few times before, we really, really want to put an emphasis on specific programs that you can do today, and really spark some creativity, so you can go back to your practice and really start to innovate and apply this to your unique situation. So I'm done, but really, really excited for sure.
Yeah, no, and just to kind of, I guess, put a bow on that, because that's an important part. And Eric mentioned this earlier, which is you'll get a sense of this during our session and other things that we do. We will sometimes slip and we'll talk about a product here and there. But it really is about the therapies, the modalities. So you're going to hear us talk about percussion, vibration. We'll talk about things like kinesiology tape or biomechanical tape. One of our great partners, Dynamic Tape, has, one of the very best products in the world. And we'll talk about topical analgesics. We'll talk about supplements, nutraceuticals, and we're not going to go into depth on all of those, but they're all part of the solution that can be provided to not only athletes, but the community. So that's what the type of education we want to bring. And most recently, I've had the pleasure of working with Eric and the HyperIce team on developing it or building on a foundation of clinical education. So even though we're going to talk in this session mostly about clinical retail and cash-based revenue. Trust us, there's going to be tons of content and support about research, education, and other solutions all along the way. This is just the beginning as far as this relationship, this partnership. But I can tell you, there's a ton in the pipeline, and I'm thrilled to be associated and working with these guys and really all the partners associated and supporting Fics. So two things, quick things. Remember, this is about, I don't know if you guys have been to the Fics website. It's about helping athletes achieve optimal performance naturally. I couldn't think of a better fit than the partners we have, and especially HyperIce, Normatec, and the products and solutions they provide, because it's a really perfect fit. And then lastly, just so you guys know, we talk a lot about recovery. It really is providing a comprehensive solution, rehab, recovery, and ultimately supporting our friends, which are sports chiropractors. And I can't wait to really kick things off at the symposium, because we get a short period of time with you, but we really want to use that to build the relationships with all of you to figure out how we can learn from you and support you. So make sure you register, make sure you tell your friends about it. Eric, thank you so much for spending the time, telling us a little bit about yourself, your family, the company that you work for, and thank you for all your support for Fics, and we look forward to a long-standing partnership with you.
Absolutely, Paul. Thank you so much for the time.